Mayor Rowland. Please call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly.
Present.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Here.
Mr. Dixon.
Here.
Mr. Will Watson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Smith.
Here.
Ms. Beth Lawson.
Very good.
That's probably what Ms. Bay has. Our blessed fortunes came back has for nothing good from done in time, Lord bless us and all good and stand for. Ask pray the Lord to give us the wisdom, bless us here tonight, in thy name. Bless us be a light to those lost where it may be. Give us, bless us from here on out. We ask and pray. Amen.
Amen. Next brings us to the approval of minutes. You kind of look over them. I hadn't looked over them yet either. Everybody have a chance to look over them?
Close.
Have a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes, the July minutes as presented.
Have a motion, have a second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson.
Yes.
Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
Mr. Will Watson. Vice Mayor Smith.
Yes. Before we get to citizen input, I got one thing we need to add to the agenda, make it a little bit longer. Laura needs to add, take applications for the vacancies in his place.
Yeah, like security sanitation, yes.
Now,
What is it?
Making applications for full-time. They have to have their city in.
Make a motion to add to the agenda.
I'll second that.
have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson. Yes. Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
Mr. Will Watson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith.
Yes, it's passed. All right, citizens input.
My name is Barry Wilson. I live at 240 Hilltop Circle, Caryville. Been there 21 years. I've been here as a complaint today. Stanley, if he was to call me back, I wouldn't be here today, but I understand he don't call nobody. On July 8th, there were two, I'm gonna call them policemen to come to my house, and they was in unmarked cars, my porch, and they didn't identify themselves. I didn't know who they were. And they asked me a question if I had been shooting a gun. I said, I have not been shooting a gun. They said, have you heard any gunshots up here? I said, no, there are no gunshots that way. But these policemen, they went, you know, we've seen all around the country how policemen are murdering citizens and citizens are murdering policemen. They murdered me that day on my porch with their tongue. And the chief, he was the judge, and the other cop, I don't know who he was. I didn't know he was the chief then until I come there and asked Judy who it was to come out there, and she told me. He acted as judge and jury on me and convicted me right on the force there. But I felt like it wasn't fair the way they treated me. And I've lived there 21 years, and up to 3 years ago or so, a dog head moved in across the street from me. He shot his place up at his other residence and assaulted some guy with a gun there. And I'm sure he's the one that called the police because I cut off all relations with him 2 months before that. But I don't feel like I was treated fair by the. I didn't mind them coming there, but when they tried to convict me right there on my front porch, I had a lot of trouble with that.
Mr. Wilson, they have their uniforms on?
Yes, sir.
Did they identify themselves?
No, they didn't. They come in unmarked cars. They did not identify themselves. I didn't know who they was. I came over here a couple of days later, and Judy, she got a hold of the police, and he confirmed that he had been there on a complaint. But they didn't identify themselves or nothing. But they tried to convict me right there on my porch. You know, that's what troubled me a lot. And I wasn't guilty. I don't know if there's any gunshots fired, but I didn't hear none at all. And I don't know.
Okay.
But
Wayne, will you look into that?
Yes.
Did they accuse you of shooting a gun? Did they accuse you?
well, the chief, I didn't know he was the chief at that time. He went ahead and he said, "I'm warning you." Well, you don't warn somebody for something that they didn't do. See, he gave me a warning, but I didn't do nothing to have a warning, you know, for it.
We'll check in on it and see what's going on.
Well,
What kind of questions were asked?
what I told you there, first question they asked me if I'd shot a gun. I said, no, I have not shot a gun. They said, second question was, have you heard anybody shooting a gun? I said, no, I haven't heard nobody shooting a gun. Then they went on and tried to convict me there. One was the chief was a judge and the other cop was a jury. I don't know who the second cop was, but one of them, Judy or Pat, told me that one of them was the chief, you know, because she got on the phone. And I didn't know who they were, you know. Never had a cop come to my door in my entire life. It's really offensive to me, you know, the way I was treated. I wasn't guilty. They made me guilty by telling the court. If they come and ask me, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But they tried and convicted me right there on the porch away. So that's why I'm here today, and thank you for your time.
So we'll check.
We'll look into it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else?
Hello, my name's Samuel Ryder, and I'm here on behalf of the Old Lane. I live at 210 Roach Lane. And I thank y'all for putting up the speed limit signs, the dead end sign, the children in place sign. Those two need to kind of be worked on or kind of rearranged a little bit differently. They're really difficult to even notice they're there. Even I, the day that we were here at the last meeting, had went home and took a shower and come over here and hadn't seen them. So people coming into my highways, they're missing them. So that's something that, you know, should be, you know, looked at by a few of you and see what y'all think. The other thing is I know y'all said, agreed to blacktop, is that correct? Was part of it. The thing about it is I need some speed bumps, not I, but as a community, me, our children might her babies. My baby just went out the door of my wife. Okay, these babies sitting here.
How many children would you say is in that
Well,
living area?
from what I figured and counted up and counting what I knew when it just moved in, there's 17 children there. That's there, the couple of them stays with their grandma, Holly here, and the other, all the residents there. Now, there's some more there that the lady keeps, but she keeps them in the house, you don't let them out. I don't know the exact reason why on that, have not asked her. So, these people is still, although we're getting patrol cars coming in and out, you know, quite often now, we've got the signs, but the people still are not taking attention to any of this. So, I'm wondering if we cannot get some speed bumps, the ones you bolt in, 3 of them would probably be about appropriate for the length. Bolt them down, and when you go to blacktop it, take them back up, blacktop it, put them back down. And that way, we can kind of solve some of this issue right now without anybody or any of our kids getting hurt.
We made a motion last time to put speed bumps over there.
When we
We made a motion and passed it.
Yeah, we was gonna put this, when they paved that, and we're gonna try to get it done this year,
Well, that's the thing, was the paving put in there to hold it off, is what I'm saying, is, I know we agreed to put in speed bumps, but then we.
Prefab.
prefab.
You know,
So, yeah, I'm prefab, something we can get,
We
and
can
get
look in on
done.
that, Sam, and see what we could do on that, and, maybe when we do pave it, take them up and put a, paved speed bump in there instead of those speed bumps area. But we'll check and see if we can get some of those. And you think that need about 3 of them?
yeah, I've looked at it. It would take at least 3.
3, yeah.
They could
I
use
think.
4, but 3, you know, I think 3 would take care of.
And I'm sure everybody in here feels the same way about their kids as we all do. That's here, you know, as a community, we want to keep our kids safe, but we don't want to cage them up in their homes, because that's one huge problem we have with kids now today. You know, I'm not gonna keep my kids in the house. I just had back surgery, I can't chase them around, you know, so I need to try to get something moved along a little bit faster, because I have a health issue. But my wife works, so, you know, you can hear him out there, pitter pattering around, he's a handler.
David, do you have any idea how much something like that costs?
It doesn't matter, we need it anyway.
Damn,
Cost of
that's
it, you know, people fixing it.
Well, I was under the assumption the last time we talked about it, that they was gonna, just as soon as we agreed on the paving, they were gonna go with it.
Yeah, Sam said, you know, he's like, something done right now, so.
But that's, I'm for that.
And I don't know when we can, you know, when are we gonna start that paving job? Like I said, hopefully this year, but.
Right, but I mean, I don't wanna let it get pushed off for a year from now, because, you know, a lot of things can happen even tomorrow.
David, can you check on those prefab and see what we can get them for?
Yeah.
And you had an issue about the signs,
The ones,
The signs are not visible enough.
and they'd be higher.
well, no, they need to be on the other side of the street. When you come out, they're posted on the back of the stop sign, so they're on the right side of the road, underneath the actual other of it. Okay, when you're coming into the main highway, when you come in and turn in, of course, you pass them up and turned in past them. So, you don't see it. I mean, well, like I said,
They're pointing the wrong direction,
Right.
basically.
So they need to be scooted over on the other side of the driveway, so when you turn in, your headlights is hitting when you can see them.
So let me be on the other side. You know what he's talking about, David? Okay.
So, that's something, you know, Wayne has discussed, and then he's come down and looked at it himself.
I'll get David over and he said he's, a little late, and then you'll see about those speed bumps, see if we can get those.
Okay, all right. So, we're good?
We're good.
Thank you all for your
So-
time, I appreciate it very much.
While he is here, we're gonna try to put those speed humps, those prefabs in
Maybe see.
until they get the black top in.
Then rebuild back down.
Good,
Thank you, Sam.
thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Y'all
Thank
have a
all
good
you
week.
guys.
Thank you.
Any more citizens? Any more citizens? Okay, go down, communication from the mayor, don't have any. Finance report.
As of July the 31st, 2016, our general fund had a balance of $513,586.34. Reserve for special fire protection fees, $65,055.01. Reserve for rainy day fund, $45,000. Reserve for garbage truck, $30,000. The adjusted general fund balance is $373,531.33. The state street aid fund has a balance of $103,866.32. The industrial fund, $868.88. The drug fund has a balance of $3,481.57, for a total of $621,803.11. The revenue for the month of July was $130,089.77. The expenditures were $94,219.89. The difference for the month of July for the good was $35,869.88.
You heard the report. Do I hear a motion to accept it?
I'll make a motion to accept, the budget as it reads.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sage?
Yes. That brings us down to reports from council members. Vicki, you want to start?
I don't have anything at this time.
Okay, Kurt.
Report from the fire department last month with auto accidents with injuries, had 39 men responded for 12 and a half hours. Had one accident without injury, 3 men responded for an hour. Had one brush fire, 3 men for roughly half an hour. One commercial fire, 1 man responded for half an hour. And had one house fire without injury, and 3 men responded for half an hour. Was given mutual aid by other departments twice, 7 men responded for an hour. We gave mutual aid twice, 7 men for an hour, and received twice as well. Total of 15 calls, 56 responded for 501 hours.
Well, good.
All right, so
Anything else you have?
that's it for now.
I'll be right back. My report's not in there.
Okay, and the library report is, we have 1,521 items checked out, 1,171 items checked in, 227 e-books checked out. We added 5 new people and deleted 2. Items added were 87, items deleted 61. Computer users were 500, interlibrary loans 200, borrowed 14, children's programs 5, children's programs attendance was 128, total library attendance was 695. The 3 summer reading programs were held in July, as well as 2 preschool story times, a back-to-school program with the dental student Joseph Hall. Good library.
Okay, Town of Caryville, Police Department month, report for the month of July. We had 345 call-ins. Out of those calls, we had 20 arrests We patrolled 9,786 miles. Out of those miles, we had 43 citations. We had 8 drug arrests. And we had 15 accidents. And that is it. Wait a minute. We assisted the THP in interdiction, and Caryville wrote 13 citations out of that, 8 warnings, and 1 drug arrest.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have, other than, it looks like you all are doing a great job patrolling our highways and taking care of everything.
And I'm gonna add to the police department, school starting tomorrow, so I have asked Brian if he could come around and just kind of help patrol over there. We do have an SRO, but we do have to share him with Jacksboro Elementary. So I did ask if him and his officers could kind of, help around the school area, at least this week, to kind of get everybody in the hang of things again and kind of remind people that are trying to go to work and, things like that, that it's time to come back to school, so.
It will be a hectic time over there.
I know, it'll be crazy in the morning, so.
Back onto the road.
It will,
Brian,
so.
can you help her?
Oh, we'll be there.
Okay.
How many of those accidents were in front of, were there any of them that were in front of Shawnee's there, or in that getting off up there at that,
The exit coming
yeah,
out?
the exit coming off or anything?
Not as I call right there, there was.
Okay.
Street sanitation, garbage at 49 ton, 3-ton recycling, 7-ton brush. Put a 80-foot tile in on Cove Circle, put a 40-foot tile in on Ivy Lane, 80-foot tile on Mountain Road, and cut back right away on 141 and mow throughout the city. Cut overhanging limbs on Walnut Street, that's hosed throughout the city, and at 141. Picked up brush and replaced the speed sign on Roach Lane.
Oh, yeah. I have 2 things. First of all, the rent for the month is $475.73. That's what we get from utility each month. And the planning commission met Thursday night, and we had 2 agendas on the item. We met with TA. They had 5 parcels of land. They wanted to make it to 1 parcel. Planning commission gave them that, and then we met with Scott. He's going to talk to you about a road, about a sign up there later. He came forward there, and before we can prove that, the planning commission will have to go through BZA and have to get a variance on it. Okay.
I have one more thing, sorry. I have one more thing that goes with tourism and stuff. I have spoken with the city of La Follette and the county. We are going to do, Halloween falls on a Monday this year, and we all have agreed that we are going to do the trunk or treat on Saturday. So it'll be Saturday, October 29th from 6 to 9 in the city of Caryville. Well, actually in the whole county. But everybody's going to do it on Saturday instead of Monday. So just kind of a heads up. I know it's early, but so if you guys know of anybody that wants to participate, we're going to do it over here in the town again. And we'd like to have anybody that wants to come and join us and set up. But it's just kind of, I throw it out there early, we're trying to get ahead of the game.
You had a big turnout last year for that.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get some more people to join us next year, or this year, so, but we're gonna do it on Saturday instead of Monday. Sorry, that's all I have.
Okay, so down to old business. Vicky, have you heard anything on that exit over here on 134?
Now, I did get a list from Frank Wallace that has all of the construction projects listed, and there's nothing listed for this year or next year. So we need some representatives to push it. That's what it takes. State representatives, your senator, your congressman, and everybody talking to the, squeaky wheel gets, sometimes gets put ahead. So we need to talk to someone to maybe see what they can do in the next planning stages on that.
I think we need to send a letter to Representative Powers and Senator Yeager.
Well,
Right,
Jacker's
that's
in
the time.
town 3 or 4 times a month.
I've talked to him every time he comes, but he needs to hear from more than just me. He needs some more
Right.
people.
So I'll get a letter from the council here before we let over Beth.
I mean, it's still on the back burner. I mean, they've not disregarded it, and the engineers have done the groundwork on it, and everything. It's just waiting its time.
I know you've been pushing that, and it's been needed.
I'd love to see it done. We need it.
Okay, that brings us to new business. Okay, number 1, presentation for the TDOT Safe Route Grant, Caryville Elementary Schools sidewalks and crosswalk.
For those of you all that don't know me, I'm Bob Calden. You got one? I'm going to give you a map that shows the area. It was actually originally submitted by the county for a safe route to school grant. Construction-wise, it's a small one. It's a little over $40,000 in construction, like a little over $50,000 for the total project. As you can see, the grant was made to place sidewalks in the area of the Caryville Elementary School along Elkins Road. Now, and plus some signing and some crosswalk work in that area.
Yes.
Originally, they asked me to put a project together, and I got with Lori and the school system, and we had a much larger project. I don't know when it got cut back, but at some time it did. The original project that I had, and Kathy, I know you can't see this, but from the school, we went on out Elkins, all the way to the end of the road there, and had something like $200,000, but somewhere in between the TDOT and the mayor's office, it got pared down. I don't know exactly when, but it did. But this is what ended up getting funded. Now, it is my understanding that at this particular time that the county has decided that since it was in the city limits of Caryville, that they felt like that Caryville should, I guess, carry the ball if this project were to go forward. That short and sweet version. There's a lot of things in between, but that's where we are right now. If you decide to go, I think the TDOT is prepared to, I think, reassign the project to Caryville from the county. There's still paperwork that would have to be signed and everything. This goes through the Safe Route to School program process. This process with TDOT is a 1, 2, 3 drawn out process. It takes a while to go through. Now, I have been asked to see, normally this will cover most all the costs that you see. Are there any hidden costs? Okay. In our experience with doing these before, there could be some advertising costs that may not be caught by the grant itself. And there's one other thing that I had noticed. On the side closest to the housing authority, right down in this area right here, you can see they have a sidewalk identified right there where it would tie in to one I think the housing authority has now. Your right-of-way on Elkins is a certain width, and I'm afraid that in looking like that, where that sidewalk is would be outside that existing right-of-way. Now, what I've been told from the mayor's office was that they contacted the La Follette Housing Authority, that's who that belongs to. They would be willing to work with you because of the sidewalk to help schools and all that sort of thing. However, with the Safe Route to School program, the procedure is if you don't have the right of way, you have to at least go through their TDOT procedure in order to obtain or grant an easement. And in this case, since you would not have enough right of way, you at least have to have something, an instrument that would grant that between the Housing Authority and Caryville. Now, even if they donate it, you still will have to have an appraisal. And the appraisal probably will not be able to be eligible for a cost. Now, I don't know what an appraisal would cost. Our experience has been, they've been, for just an easement like that, $500 to $750. Those are the hidden costs that I know that you might encounter. The engineering is paid for out of the grant. Construction is paid for out of the grant. They have a certain amount that goes to construction oversight by TDOT. That comes out of the grant, as well as inspection. Now, it's not a big project, but it will help the school. And that's really I kind of feel an obligation to the school, meeting with Lori and everything a long time ago to try to see what I can do to help.
What's the time frame of this grant? Is there enough time left? And I know they got this some time ago, so how long have you got to get this completed?
Okay, you actually have a certain period of time. You have a 3-year period unless you ask for an extension, and you can grant a 1-year extension if you needed to. If you remember the project that we're working on over next to the jail right now, the parking, well, we call it a trailhead. That's the reason we got it funded that way. It actually had to have a 1-year extension to get it done. We actually had to wait until the jail was finished because they were parking all their equipment and everything over there before we could ever even start anything there. So that did have to have an extension. So it's usually 3 years, and you get a 1-year extension if you need it.
So it's 4 years total?
If
But it's
you
already
need
been
it.
close, is it not been close to 2?
No, it's been over a year. I've
Year and a
got,
half?
well, I've got, it was submitted in 2015.
1 year has elapsed.
So it's been over a year.
I know you said that this had been cut down from like all the way up Elkins Road and stuff, but who determined like for this to go like where this apartment thing was and stuff as opposed to down this other way? Because where this housing project is right here, we have a back gate to the school. I work over at the school. And so we have a back gate where these kids actually access the school instead of going out on the main road, because we don't let any of the kids walk that way anyways. And so I was just wondering, instead of it being on this side, why would it not be further down this way instead of it being, I mean, you know, who made the decision where the sidewalk was going, just out of curiosity?
Okay, the county worked with UT, who has a transportation branch, transportation center. Worked with them as well as TDOT to come up with a project that ended up.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
We're probably trying to connect those apartments there, plus the housing authority down through there. What I was guessing maybe. Plus, it was originally, like you said, to go on out through here, you know, out towards the main road.
I mean, I could see it going across like to Elk Lake and stuff like that, or even, you know, even down the other
Yeah,
way.
actually, when I first looked at it, we had it going all the way to the end out there, and also had some of the school flashing signals in there, and they got next too. Because I think they had 2 of them in there.
Paul, I have a question. With what's here, is that what has been approved and funded? Is there any flexibility in, if we kept the same square footage and moving those? If we had the easements for the right of ways?
The,
Or it is what it is?
well, you may have some, the environmental assessment hasn't been done yet.
Okay.
So we could ask for, the only real problem I see right now is that sidewalk out in front of the housing authority,
Right.
because it would require you to have it appraised, and you don't have any control over, I mean, I know the housing authority said, yes, we'll work with you, but you don't have a written instrument to that effect.
Right.
Now, there's plenty of room on the opposite side from the school, on Elkins Road, to put the sidewalk. There was a subdivision plat that was done along there several years ago, that not only did you have the existing right-of-way, but you were given excess or extra right-of-way on that side for a street, is what it amounted to. And I pulled the plat on that and had a copy of it, but that's not the case on the other side where the housing authority is. But you could ask for a shift in some of that before the environmental was done.
That plan would be great, you could have a turn lane going into school and traffic has still been going on, you know, where it backs up there, back. You have that, where you said that existing road can move an extra lane over.
Yeah.
School can have a turn lane and that would prevent all that backup out Elkins Road.
I don't know if all you all can follow. Kathy's making a bunch of these, but over on the side,
Beth, is that what you're talking about that you really needed on the opposite side of the road?
No, I was just talking about from Elk Lake
Right.
up, instead of it going back towards the housing authority,
Right.
going up the road instead of down.
Toward that big subdivision.
Because we walk the kids out, we have a back
She's saying
gate.
that right here's the need to go.
yeah, well, that's where I want,
Yeah.
like to have gone up that direction.
What happened is the county mayor's office started contacting me because the county had applied for this grant, and their legal counsel came back and identified the roads as owned by the city of Caryville.
Oh,
And rendered them an opinion that they could not implement any grant dollars on city of Caryville roads. So I advised them that it would take action by the board and it had to be brought down here for this board to accept anything, and started looking at the grant to look at any hidden costs and that type of thing. And I asked Bob to address that with council, to give you all an update, but that's how this came about, is my email has been blown up for about the last month and a half, and I keep telling them there's no action has been taken by this board to put anything or implement anything on the city street. So that's where it is, and therefore the city had no input on where the streets were. Of course, Bob initially did it, that it would cover all of it, and that wasn't an issue, but anybody kind of cutting, I'm not aware of how that happened, and he's not aware of how that happened, or who decided where it went.
On the other side of the street from the housing authority, when this plat was done, they deeded an extra 14 feet.
Okay.
That was a deed to the city for the street purposes, which you could use street purposes, meaning sidewalk or whatever else that you need to in that regard.
What he has is the subdivision plat that was recorded when they developed the subdivision behind it. And in that subdivision plat, it's very similar to what the planning commission looks at as to how much easement or right-of-way you guys have. So that's where he's saying that there's a 14-foot right-of-way. That's at your all's discretion of how you want to use that on Elkins Road, which is where you're talking about. So it would be the pleasure of the board whether you want to pursue this grant. It's a $40,000 grant. From what I understand from what I've looked into, the county is, of course, more than willing to assign it to the city, and that would, I've been asked to participate in a phone call with TDOT to talk about whether the city would be willing to accept the grant.
Are they saying that all this work can be done for $40,000?
Yes, it's, well, the green part.
Right.
And that's what has been funded for it, and Bob's firm has done all the engineering on it, except for the big things, of course, that he's talking about is TDOT doesn't carry the cost on that, is the right-of-way and easements, of course, that go along this city street, and whether you all have the right to put a sidewalk. And that is something that generally Scott and I would work out.
Well, right there, you're talking about the housing authority.
Mm-hmm.
Does the city not have that right of way? Don't they have that much?
You've got a little bit of right of way on both sides.
Right.
Okay, but if you'll see, look on your map, see how far back that sidewalk is
Yes.
on the housing authority. You don't go back, you don't go back far enough.
So what he's saying in that line where it says where that crosswalk starts, back there on Roach Lane,
Yes.
and that 10-foot in, there may be, not much, but some footage that we would need to get the Housing Authority Board to vote on to allow you to join that up with their existing sidewalk.
So we need to talk to the housing authority and see if they'll deed that section of property to the city. Do we need a deed for that?
What we could do is, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you needed to have at least an easement for the
Assigned.
purpose and an assigned easement for that particular purpose. And I think, as best I know from talking to the mayor's office, they have talked to me before they would do that, but yet you'd want, I'm sure want Kathy to make sure
Yes.
before
But-
you.
The director was just down here last month working with you all on something else. So it's just the document that TDOT's going to require between the LH board and this board that passes TDOT, Mr.
So will you and Scott get together and contact the housing authority and see if they'll give us an easement for that? Is that how it's gonna work?
I would recommend to first, if you're interested in doing this and accepting it, to, this would be what I would propose. If you want to do it, pass something tonight, put a budget amount on it that somebody would be willing to work within the budget, and then I could have a phone call with a representative from the board with TDOT, get the assignment in place, and once all of that's approved, then Scott and I can start working with the housing authority and any other landowners to get the right-of-way that TDOT's going to require. But I think the first hurdle would be to make sure that we have an assignment and everything's on go with the project with TDOT. So, and I would recommend, just for budget purposes, to give authority to put $5,000 in a separate budget for, to be shown, and so that this board has authorized $5,000, and then that we know would be funded for any of these different hidden costs and anything else. Otherwise, if you're in a position that you're trying to work with TDOT and the landowners and that type of thing without any money at all, and every time you need $100 here or $200, you would have to come back before the board. So I always think that it's a good idea to work within, have a budget allocated for the entire project.
Has there been a contractor come out and said they could do this job for $40,000?
No, they won't until you get a set of plans.
Yeah. Okay. So we just need to work on a set of plans and then get it, somebody to come out and give us some estimates on it.
I mean, you can, but I mean, when you get down to it, and then get your plans together, and then you go through the T-Dot process, you'd be down to bidding it.
I don't wanna, you know, if the grant's for $50,000, I want this to cost $150,000, unless that full got the rest of the money.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're basing it on what T-Dot and UT
Right,
has pared it down to.
yeah.
Likewise, what I suggest is that to keep safe, what you might do is to have, even if you do a base bid, that you show the whole thing, it shows some alternates in case,
In case there's not enough there, then you can
yeah, then
take a
you
little
can
piece out.
take a little bit out.
Well, based on what it was presented to me at the county mayor's office, isn't part of the function is to write up the bids and that type of thing as to what's gonna be let out. That's what I thought. So that's not something the city would have to do. Part of the entire plan and the grant and all of that is, that's all done for you in the $40,000.
Correct.
Okay, so they take care of that, so we don't have to pay no money, just the hidden expenses like you was talking about.
Right, and one of the things, and that's what I've been going over on the grant, because we don't want a $40,000 grant that's ultimately gonna cost the city more than $40,000 out of pocket. You know, that's not what we're looking at here. So, a couple of things that Bob has identified that could be, he's looking at hidden costs, because the mayor's office kept saying this is not gonna cost you anything. Well, I always question that. Whenever somebody says they're gonna give you free money, you need to start looking for it. And he was talking about the appraisal, if we have to, just some of the things to comply with what TDOT wants to do could be, you know, different amounts here and there. And of course, with Scott's involvement, that's another area that we need to compensate him for his services, because he's, you know, he does a lot for the city for free. So those kind of hidden costs, engineering, construction, inspection, and putting together the bid proposals and those types of things are all part of the package as Bob's firm has written it up.
Yeah, I just couldn't see that $40,000 gonna do that job.
Well, that's what Bob's job is to stretch this sidewalk just as absolutely far as he can.
You're gonna have to make it out of thin.
Now, is that sidewalk gonna have to be ADA also, since it's federal?
Yeah,
I
if
assume it
you
is.
have any crosswalks, you'll have to have handicap accessible, you know, ramps and that sort of thing in order for them to be able to come across that. And,
Is that one of those hidden charges?
well, I mean, they've got that in the cost, and what they have identified.
No, that's in it. And of course, well, fallen housing being federally funded, that would be required for them and
Yeah.
at the state level too. So, but that's sorely needed, you know, especially if you end up with a disabled child, they need those kinds of things.
So what's the pleasure of the board?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good idea, to get sidewalks, if the board wants to accept the grant or not. I mean, we have the option of accepting it or declining it.
Before, yes, you do, and that's what's before the board, because what had happened until Bob called me and I told him I would put him on the agenda, is that my email has been blown up by people trying to give us free money that it's not gonna cost you anything, by people that had applied for a grant on City of Caryville streets. And it takes action by the board, and it's up to the board of whether you want to participate in the grant and accept it.
So what is your pleasure?
Beth, how is it now? How's it working now?
Well, we have no sidewalks over there at the school.
No.
It's very dangerous over there.
That's why they had to open up the back gate to let the kids come
Okay.
down the steps.
But with 30 of these sidewalks for in them, that there's a lot more kids comes in this other way too, though.
Which way?
Comes in this way.
I mean, it'll open up the kids so that it'll come from out.
Yeah, you have them sign.
Yeah,
So they whittled it down.
Yeah, it's not nearly.
Yeah, Dwayne, I had over a $200,000 project.
And I went by the Caryville Big Gym lives, I think that's subdivision.
You can get under the Safe Route to School program, and I got at Madisonville, 225,000, and at Maynardville, something around 150. That might not be right at 150, but close. So you can get a lot more money, but that's what they pared it down to now. How it got pared down, I don't know.
Being,
Yeah, the
The county
mayor's.
mayor's office, yeah, I was wondering why they did whittle it down, you know, did they think it was gonna cost more money to?
so if we accept tonight, okay,
But on grant projects, and Bob can clarify that, on grant projects, if you implement one, that doesn't mean that later on you can apply for another one
We
to
could do proper another
expand
next year
to
and get that
complete your
extra.
project.
We need another probably
Right.
$100,000 to go back this way. and
That's what I'm talking
continue
about.
But if you don't accept this one, you're not going to get one in the future. And like, he has been
Okay.
writing these
okay.
all
Let me
across
just
these
go ahead and say
Tennessee.
I'm for accepting it, but like I say, those hidden charges is the only thing that bothers me.
Which shouldn't
well,
be
that's what
more
the
than-
$5,000.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, I'm looking at that as the absolute top to get the project implemented in place and that kind of
Yeah, but-
thing. And then if you don't have to spend all of it, but you have the leeway
Right.
if something comes up, and then if somebody says, well, something else is gonna cost $10,000, it's like, well, that hasn't been approved, we're not doing that.
Okay, when this thing's put out to bid, where's these bids gonna come to? They coming to you, Bob?
They will be bid here at City Hall.
Okay, what if somebody comes in at $30,000? We're gonna be in good shape.
Yeah, we can,
Now, if it comes under the budget, you can always add to, okay? And one
What do you
thing.
mean add to?
Add-
Sidewalk?
Stick
Yeah,
it out.
add some more.
Okay.
And that's another thing that we were discussing a while ago. Kathy said, well, you know, since the environmental hasn't been done yet, it would probably behoove the entire project to perhaps include a little bit more area than what's here, just in case you really do get good project cost, that you could add to it and be in the area that's already been identified. Doesn't hurt anything.
I mean, that could very well happen.
Yeah.
And you've got wiggle room on this plat that's across the road, that's already recorded. So it shows how much of the variance you have on the other side of the road, which is a big thing that, under normal circumstances, you would have. You're just fortunate enough to have that plat recorded. That's not something the city of Caryville always has on your streets. So that's a great thing. That gives you that wiggle room all along that road.
Okay, let's put this to vote and move on, we got a long agenda. Is that gonna be right today? I don't know.
I'll make a motion that we accept the grant for,
We need to put so much in there too. We need to make an amount, like Kathy said, $5,000 to,
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we, set the grant and, put $5,000 as needed in the budget for additional cost.
Every second.
second.
I got a motion and a second, any discussion? Call roll on it.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Bring this down to Scott, and discuss all signs for Comfort Inn.
Like Glenn was saying earlier, Victor Patel and I were coming before the planning commission. And what we're asking for is permission to put a multi-business sign along Comfort Lane. And to show you here, this is the entrance coming in. You see the existing sign, and the inner sign. We're wanting to combine them all into one sign.
Already seen
So
it.
you know, it's a very good. to combine his sign and this sign.
What they want to do is
One
move the
sign.
sign back
Yeah.
from the city right
This one
away.
here, and these two together.
Yeah, company, it'll be on the
A taller.
highest, what's high.
Don't go look at this.
What we are trying to
See
do,
the, see the company sign, that's this.
different explanation, more like, than what we did a few over. But we have a
See
high,
the same right
for
way,
last
this
month,
is
so we have
now,
combined hard with the company, and probably one more fast
business
food.
sign.
So we three,
Take that one down.
probably
that
three
one.
business
And
and
the company in, the inner.
You comfort in back there, back
Business.
that,
Now, this was very visible back, when
Back
we
before all this was
yeah.
Now that takes away from that little
Believe
sign.
me,
So it's gonna be
people
a
say there's no
much
sign.
bigger sign.
It
This
is.
sign used to be on ground.
But things can be added to that if you need it.
Exactly.
But
everything will be combined. It was good, but
Yeah,
once
it'll
it's
all be
on,
on, it'll be on one
Yeah.
side. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
All right, and of course, as far as the variance, we're asking for a variance on the 1,000-foot between signs. That's the only variance we're asking. Of course, Travel Center, Speedway have already been granted that variance in the past.
and the variance will have to come from the BZA Board of Zoning Appeals. That's the only one that gives the variance.
Right. As long as you all recommend that it goes to the board of zoning.
If it goes, if we recommend this, then we'll have to advertise in the paper that we're gonna have a BZA meeting, present this, get this variance for that. What I got from the planning commission, other members, that they're on board with this, as long as the city has no problem with them being on the city right of way. And it's going, it's,
So whose right of way is it gonna be on? It's not on the city's right of way.
It's gonna be on Comfort Lane. Right now, it's on the state right of way.
Oh, okay.
And we're
It's
moving
state
it
right
up-
of way.
Yeah, and we're moving it up to just above this intersection. That sign will come down and in the Comfort Lane, and then the other proposed
it's the
business.
city right of
It'll
way.
be the city
Oh,
Comfort
okay,
Lane
that's what I
right
was,
of way.
okay.
That's the reason he has to come here to get permission to go with it.
And it's barely one vehicle, and I've got moved the words to what I'm talking about. That's a big thing.
So what's the pleasure of the board?
Scott, one more question. This is where he is now,
Yeah,
correct?
that's the existing Comfort sign.
Okay.
Of course, then here's the statue, then here's this other sign, and we're gonna be bringing it right up above. Here's the location just inside the city's property as far as the Comfort Lane.
What's the distance from here to here?
And it's about 25 feet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're not kind of scared, but it-
you know,
I want you to I'll make the motion to let them move forward with moving the sign up to Comfort Lanes
And do the
and do the
multi-directional.
multi.
And we actually could go up to 35 feet if I remember as far as, but we're not looking at going
Yeah,
that.
I think so, you go up 35 foot.
second.
Yep. Motion and a second. Got one. Scott, you gonna make this a multi-sign, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought you said at the meeting the other night, it's gonna be a multi-sign. Any more questions of Scott? Comment? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson? Yes. Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes.
Now, when will the board of zoning be?
You'll get with Joe and have, get him to set that up,
Okay.
and we'll be next, September 1st.
Okay. And also talk to Victor about what you and I discussed also, so he's going to be with you, but he doesn't need that package.
September
There's,
1st.
there's that, but you can talk to Glenn afterwards. He gives us an abundance of information.
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'll wait for it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Moving on down to number 3, council to approve for disabled American veterans to run concession stand at Asbury Park for next year. I have no
I've had a
information.
couple of people that's asked me how we go about doing this, and if they are interested in maybe doing it. One being the Lions Club who did it before, another being a different person, so, you know, we've never had a process of how we do this, the mayor
I don't
just
have this.
let them do it, so I think we ought to table it and put it out there and let people know and not just give it to one entity, without, you know, letting other people have a chance of doing it.
What is
And
this?
be fair about it. It looks like they paid us $5 a game. Is that what they paid us, $5 a game? Yeah. $675 for the season.
There's some kind of discrepancy with Bill and the mayor, and I'm not sure what it is.
That's just,
Who in the mayor?
you wanna put this up for next month, the mayor know more about, it. I don't know anything about it.
I say let's wait till the beginning of the year and talk, you know,
They
put it out there in the other,
out of this.
other charity groups or whatever that might be interested, give us a proposal or something.
I don't think she'll wait till the end of the year, because that kind of put them in a bind, trying to get rid of everything.
December or something, after, give us, I mean, we're already in
Why
August.
do we owe the league? They're supposed to pay $5 a game for every game they're in the concession
That's what
stand.
that is.
Okay.
Okay,
So
then
we'll
why
table-
would there be a discrepancy?
We'll table that item.
Okay.
And move down to number 4, council to approve second reading of ordinance number 2016-07, ordinance amending the annual budget for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2015, and ending June 30, 2016.
Also moved.
Have a motion, and a second. Have a motion, second. Any questions or comment? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson? Yes. Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Dawson? Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes, call it passed. Down to number 5, council to approve resolution 2016-03, adopting the policies and procedures for the town of Caryville 2015-16 home rehabilitation program. It's that one we were supposed to pass last month and we didn't have it.
Yeah.
And we gotta have this in place before we proceed with the loan, the grant.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. I'd like to just put 6 and 7, 8 together. It's a loan agreement on the bond for the police car, the street paving, and the sanitation vote all at one process. If you can use all, I can do that.
I got some discussion
Yeah,
on
me
this real
too.
quick.
Okay.
On the number 4, this is the paving.
Yeah.
I thought we was going with 7 years.
I don't know.
Yeah, where does 10 years come from?
And this is 8 is on it, on the paving. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 10 is the sanitation truck.
Okay, that's, so we need to go 8 years? 7
I
years?
thought we decided on 7.
Okay.
We talked about 7 and 8, the difference it would be there on that.
It's a lot.
We were talking about the asphalt, it'd be time to pay them again once we got it paid off, so we got
Yep.
money earlier.
So we're just trying to get it in at 7.
7, okay.
What do we do?
I don't know, actually, I was not here, I was out at that time, so Tammy
That too, so I
has,
don't know.
is the one that's done work with TML on this.
I think the police car's okay. I don't know about sanitation, 10 years on the sanitation, what do y'all think?
On the truck,
Yeah.
We had it less than 10 years?
I didn't know we put anything on 10.
we had the truck less than 10.
I thought we had it less than 10.
David, what do you think?
That truck's been there.
The truck we got now, what, David? 97, 9 years old.
19.
19 years old. So we could go 10 on the truck.
So I need to change that to 7.
So,
We got the option of paying that sooner.
What are they rated at?
I was just wondering if she's getting a better rate at 10, that's the reason she's.
Well, you did get a lower rate. I mean, lower payment, maybe. I don't know about the rate being lower.
This is based on BQ and Bridget rate for 10
Yeah,
year
the
term.
rates are in the back, I think.
got the payoff in the back.
But we have the option of paying that off early, right?
Is that 2.97 part of the 10-year, or you remember that?
Yeah,
This is
2.97 is
2.97,
10
that's the
years,
10-year
and then
rate.
What was it for 7?
Well, the 5-year is 2.7.
8-year is 2.8.
I don't know, this is what TNF has put together.
What's that?
Two point 86 and 2.79.
That's a good thing.
Not that much difference in the rate.
Yeah, we're taking a hit, we're taking 75,000 of that. Yeah, we can't use that money.
For 30,000.
Borrowed the full amount.
It's 130, isn't it?
Yeah, that's-
Garbage truck.
We're not worried about it. What we don't have.
As long as we have that option to pay it off early.
Right.
It's not that much difference in the interest.
What was it, 1% or 1/10%?
And it, you know, it might be different once they get to the banks.
They could make that a little more.
Yeah,
We want to change that back to 7 on the rock on asphalt.
okay, so,
It's the only one you want to change,
yeah.
okay? You're right, your motion that we approve the resolution 2016-04, 05, and 06,
With the change of the that.
with that change, with that change made.
Make a motion.
I second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Who made the motion? Oh, I didn't read it.
Call the roll.
Ms. Hurley? Yes. Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beck Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Boyd Lawson? Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. That brings it down to number 9, cancel to accept bid for janitorial service.
And I put both of the bids back in there, so you all just decide. Those references are good, so.
So what's the pleasure of the council?
Is this the one we're doing now? That's, we don't have a name. They give them.
No, no, they do not turn it in.
So what do you all recommend?
Gail Doherty has been here before, and they're excellent. But none of these other people, the references were good, so it's what you all want.
Your history with them in the past, would you recommend them? Is there a little bit more relevant if you're happy with the service they gave you this year?
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a motion we, accept Ms. Gardner's resolution.
And that includes everything from, like, well, they don't have to vote to include like everything.
No.
And that's all their supplies and everything. Combined with that.
Do we provide supplies, do we?
Huh?
We provide the
Not,
supplies.
I meant cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, ma'am. We got a motion here to set, Bill Doherty's bid at $500 per month. Do I hear a second?
Second motion.
Second. Any questions, comment? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Call it passed. Go down to number 10, council to approve $1,166.70 to Procom Communication Services for 2 Kenworth portable radios for police department. You got your,
Give me 1 second.
Make a motion.
I'll second that.
got a motion and a second. Any questions? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Number 11, council to approve bid for 5 sets of turnout gears for the fire department.
This is the council's approved 2 bid, right? We ain't bid them out yet, it's just approved 2 bid.
2 bids?
No, 2
Bid
bid
it
out.
out.
I bid it out.
Yeah. It's in the, we went over this during the budget, it's in the
Yeah, it's a
budget.
budgeted item.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions or comment? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Number 12, council to declare 2004 Chevrolet Impala as surplus for the police department to sale or auction. Brian, you'll elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's actually a vehicle one of the officers had seized for a drug bust. We'd rather actually sell it straight out if we can at first and see what we can get out of it. That money will go into the drug fund.
Now, what, you mean, explain straight out, or you just,
You wanna do it like you did the Jeep?
Well, we can do it that, we can do the highest quote or the bid or whatever, do it the same way.
or was you wanting to advertise it some way?
Well, like we did last time on the Jeep, and we got a good price for the Jeep, so we can do this the same way and hope it turns out the same way. But this money will go into the drug fund where it's been seizure through drugs.
How do you want to do it?
We can do it that way, we can take the highest bid.
Well, we don't have to take that bid, you know, if it's.
Right, I know, I mean, I know, we don't have
Okay,
to.
right, I shouldn't even say that.
Just saying. Just saying.
What's the pleasure?
Sell it.
I make a motion we, sell it as surplus at the highest bid.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments?
Here, make sure I'm right on this, Brian, we have to declare it first, right?
Yes.
The motion is to declare it. as
Yes,
surplus.
make a motion to declare it surplus.
That way Brian can sell it.
Right.
Call. Any more? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Down to 13, council to approve for street department to bid for a garbage truck.
Also move. It's in the budget.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussions? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith? Ms.
Yes.
Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Down to 14.
That garbage truck.
I make it last one more year, Dave.
I'm on the road here.
Council to approve bid out for a new SUV for the police department.
Make a motion to bid out for a new SUV for police.
I'll second. It's in our budget, correct?
Yes.
A motion is second. Any questions or comments? Call roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson? Mr. Lord Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes, I'm getting on the road now. Council to approve bid for early warning system. It's one Vicky's
We
been,
also put that in the budget, and as I've said before, we keep getting these storms coming our way, and I just think we need to do this for the protection of our citizens, and just put the specs out there that we've got.
We put that in the budget, didn't we? We got
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
you made a motion.
I said,
Have a second. Any questions? Call
This
roll.
is to bid out also, right?
Yeah, the bid out.
Okay,
Call roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lord Lawson?
yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. That brings down to 16. Discuss hiring of new codes enforcement officer.
I'll make a motion that we,
I was on the meeting first.
You back here?
Where did it go?
I'm there.
I've seen Paige.
hey Steve, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What, how many years you been doing this?
Been doing about 3 years. I've been in construction most of my life. Certified with the International Property Maintenance Code, and that's in Tennessee. I'm a certified building inspector, mechanical inspector, plumbing inspector, and just this morning I passed the first phase of electrical inspector certification.
Kathy, did we decide that he could write the citation?
You're not certified in law enforcement, right?
No, ma'am.
So he
No,
cannot?
we can't.
And that's gonna be the issue right there. We'll go for the court.
Right.
That's the only problem I have.
How will you go about doing that, Kathy?
You know, somebody's gonna have to work with Brian. Have you talked to Brian?
Not about that, no, ma'am. I'm willing to do that.
Say that again?
I said I'd be willing to go through that process. Although I might be speaking out of turn since I don't know what the process is,
I propose that you defer it and let him talk to Brian to see if they can, Chief Keaton, to see if they can work something out on that.
At this point, he'd have to work with an officer, and the officer would have to write citations, correct?
Yes. Right, and,
Appear in court?
but the officer couldn't appear in court without him.
Right.
So the prosecutor just would take an officer plus the code enforcement officer, so.
That's not standard protocol, is it?
it's a little bit different in the county. We refer to a law director and he prosecutes us. I never actually write a citation. Although it would be best if they would do that.
Brian, could your partner work with that?
Yeah, we work with him, that's, we was the only one that I know of ever that's had an actual police officer do codes.
So if he found a code violation, he would take one of your officers out
Right.
and you would work with him with that?
You mean,
But right now, he's saying he works with a law director who never, writes a code violation. We got that system now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if we're not gonna enforce what we're doing, then
Right, we got that system.
But we don't have anybody certified to do codes.
Right.
I'm looking at it from a construction standpoint. I've never seen them, I mean, I've been in the commercial contracting business since 1988. I've never seen them bring a law officer on with them.
Well, it's like Lisa, I'm not sure, I don't talk to Lisa a whole lot either, but I think she's the one that writes everybody in, you know, if they needed anything done, so.
But she's doing it
She is
by
doing,
telephone. I don't know if she's doing it or not.
So what's the difference in what Lisa's doing and what he's doing? Lisa's doing before the building.
It's a different code. It's a
Building, Lisa's inspecting the building.
Inspecting the building of when they're doing actual construction.
okay, so
You're
she's
going to
gonna
do it
maintain the
after-
building?
No, this would be property maintenance, zoning issues.
Like our police officers been doing before.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
That's the position.
okay.
And also, I've got all the certifications, so if Lisa is on vacation or ill or whatever, I could do her.
I guess when you were saying all those certifications you had, and I was comparing it to what she had, and I wanted to see what the difference was between
Yeah.
what you would be doing and what she would.
Okay.
And we've got basically the same certifications. I can do commercial mechanical inspections.
But you'd be just be going around and doing the residential stuff, and she's doing the commercial.
And I don't know how they do it in Oak Ridge, but, and again, this is, Lisa does this, she can cite people with the property maintenance code. And they have like a magistrate or something that they go before their, it's not a magistrate, but,
I'm not in this league, so I don't know.
oh, okay.
I have never had any communication related to it, and I'm not in this league.
I know
I don't
before,
know how the proposal of what's supposed to be done, how it's supposed to be done, or what anybody's idea is on how to get it done. I just know that there's a problem that Brian and I have talked about several times about that the system we have in place, we're looking to improve.
I know before we had one, before we had the code enforcement, the building inspector, he went out and cited him in court. Remember, he went to court, the judge threw it out because he was not a certified law enforcement to issue citations. That's when the code enforcement come in. So somehow we're gonna have to have these two together.
So would it work if he does, identifies the problem, he gives a report to the chief, and then the chief has to go out, or a police officer to give the citation or warning?
I would
Can he give
recommend that
warnings
you
or-
defer the decision until let the proposed person that is, you will consider hiring be interviewed and let Brian talk to them to see how they would work it out and if they think that could work.
So y'all haven't talked before?
You know, we've talked a few times, Lisa's the one recommended it.
One way it could work is, at the county, what I do is I post a sign. If I go out and there's a violation, I post a sign, write the violation on the sign. And they have 5 days to contact the county at that time. If they do not contact the county, then we send a registered letter. So basically, there's 2 warnings. And what we could do is if they don't heed the second warning, then perhaps a police officer could go out and write a citation at that time.
I agree with Kathy that with him and Brian get together and get the situation worked out,
Yeah.
Get a written process of what's going to
then
happen.
we'll go from there on. That'd be the best way. And I think that's the way, right now, he can't issue citation, they don't know what they're gonna do, what is not in codes. So we need to get this some kind of, you two work together, Brian, and work out it. And we'll vote on it next month.
Make a motion to table it till they work out a written procedure.
You do have certifications that you be able to provide to Brian?
Yeah, I think I have that one. But I can provide it.
think that's the way to go. Okay. You get with him, you two get together and, work this out.
Okay.
And bring it back forward us when we get all the secrets. And Brian, run it by Kathy and make sure that we're legal.
We appreciate you coming up this evening.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a nice evening.
Thank you.
This is the last one, street employee, roads.
On the street employee.
We added it.
Number 17, that you want added to advertise for the street.
Oh, yeah. Ronnie's gonna be leaving us at the end of September, right there. He's gonna retire, and we're gonna need somebody full-time for the street and sanitation department, and I would like to put something out there that we're looking for somebody with some of the experience that Ronnie's got. CDLs. What else, David? Able to do some mechanic work. Weld, anything like that, so we're gonna start looking early.
What type of salary are we looking at to have all those
Yeah, well, we'll have
qualifications?
to, no, we'll have to adjust that to get anybody the same quality as Ronnie.
So you're gonna have the specs ready for it? For that?
What does Ronnie want?
1550.
And what's our, we are a minute, what, 12, 10 now?
That's what I just said. When you get big on it, I said you're gonna
That's
pay
why I said
me.
you need a salary schedule.
Yeah.
That's why you need a salary schedule.
Yeah.
Wait each other down for the 3 months over it.
Yep.
So what's your recommendation, Lord?
Don't let him quit.
Well, we just put something out there right now and see, let's throw a worm out there, see if we can buy, just see how many people's interested in it, then go from the
See what the
pay,
qualifications are
right,
and
and go from the pay schedule from that point and vote on it later.
Make a motion to post the job.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions?
Can we take it and, I know the motion's on the floor, but put some kind of requirements in that job description?
Yes.
He's
We've
gonna- he's
got
gonna-
job descriptions.
Yeah, but I'm gonna,
Yeah, they just gonna work it out.
Yeah, we can look over those together.
CDLs and mechanical experience and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can adjust the pay to that, can't we?
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any more questions? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith? Ms. Beth Lawson? Yes. Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Lord Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. That's all we
Could
have.
I ask something back to the codes officer? Codes enforcement officer, that's a position, should we not put that out there too for applications? Be, this position, anytime we have a position, a city position, we're supposed to put it out there.
It's gonna be hard to find somebody with those
I
qualifications.
know, but you can't just,
There are some people in this county that
Right.
have those certifications.
I think we better put it out there and then he can hire who he wants to, and he needs to interview those people though and see who else might be,
My only
just to
question,
be fair about it.
what I was thinking though, when y'all are
See if
saying
there's anybody
something
else.
about that guy and then having an officer too, I mean, that means we're paying 2 people to basically do that same job again. I mean,
Right.
if the officers have to go back out. that's
What
all.
you're doing is paying this guy to come up here from Anderson County, put a sign in the yard, and then the people that are complaining about the sign are the ones that, and to run interference is gonna be your police department,
Yeah.
because he's not gonna be up here. So you're
It's gonna
putting
fall
the
back
police
to-
department in a very precarious, to deal with these people that have gotten these citations and warnings and that type of thing, because they're not on the ground up here.
So the police officer has no idea what's going on,
Right, but they're the ones that's
Yeah.
gonna get the phone calls.
and they're the big ones that has to appear in court.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they'll get thrown out of court.
Well, Brian and I have talked about tweaking the system and how we could improve it, and it could be worked on, but You know, it's hard when you end up with the people, your officers here on the ground are the ones that's gonna be, doing a lot of damage control. If they're gonna come up here and put a sign in somebody's yard that they're not, because this is, the person that's going to put a sign in somebody's yard because their grass is too high.
Right. And then these people are gonna get mad at the police officers for coming in with something to court if they don't cut it.
Right.
And the guy who
So I don't
put the
envy
sign
their
up there, he's
position.
free, he's gone.
Right.
I don't like that.
That's what, so it's gonna take a unique, person to fill that.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some people in the county that are certified.
I agree with Vicky, if we can take applications, I think that's a good idea, really, or we'll go from there.
We'll see if they come forward, because I know some people that are retired have these certifications.
There's no way I can.
I think that was
I'll make that, I guess we need to add that to the agenda first.
Yeah.
What?
Add to advertise for code enforcement officer.
We may have,
And then Brian will need to give you what the qualifications need to
well, the speed hump deal, we didn't vote on that.
We voted on it last month.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it on Tuesday.
We voted on it last month.
We did?
And Dave was gonna check on prices, we didn't say we was gonna pay, he was gonna check on prices and stuff on
We voted on last month, but the speed bumps on it.
be. Well, the way it read in here though, I'm not gonna go back because it read that when they did the paving.
Vicki, do you have the specs for the early warning system?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, let me have it because I don't know anything.
I'm
Oh, I
with Vicky,
will.
I'm with Vicky on that. On, I think we need to put it to the vote. The speed hump.
Where is that?
We voted on it.
Yeah, but
We said in the last meeting, motion was made by Mr. Gibson that speed humps be installed when paving takes place,
Yes.
if deemed suitable and affordable.
See,
Motion was
when they
seconded.
commented, that was just in citizens' input. We didn't vote on anything.
Right here says, well, I made a mo, I mean, he made a
No,
motion.
tonight.
Tonight,
that was the
yeah,
last
we need to
month.
make a motion tonight to do that.
yeah, that's what I'm talking
So we
about.
need to add that after we finish this here.
Well, I mean, if David does it under 500, it's irrelevant, and he can do it
That's
without
true.
motion.
That's true.
You can find
He
speed
can
bumps for
purchase it
$500.
Yeah, what I'm
Or
gonna
make
try
it.
first is to, hand build my cold mix asphalt.
That's what most does anyway.
Yeah.
Can you take them back up though? I mean, will it come,
Yeah.
just scrape it up?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I was wanting to use
$500.
those over in front of my house when you got done with them over there,
Well, next
You
question.
still use these, it's some other pretty.
But Vicky's got to, put out for code enforcement officer.
I'll second that to take up.
Put that on the agenda.
Oh, I'll put it on the agenda.
Yes.
Sign a PO on that.
I have a motion and a second. Call
That's
roll.
number 18.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll be wrong
Ms. Hedley,
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson,
Yes.
Mr. Gibson,
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson, Vice Mayor Smith.
Yes. Now is it just to put out for code enforcement officer.
Now I'll
Advertisement.
make a motion to advertise for a code enforcement officer.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more questions, comments?
You are budgeted, right, Brian?
Yes, it's in the budget.
Yeah, that budget.
Call roll.
Ms. Hedley.
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson.
Yes.
Mr. Gibson.
Yep.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson. Vice Mayor Smith.
Yes. Anything else before the council?
I've got one thing. I ain't gonna add it, I just want to discuss it. The bleachers that were supposed to be done, wood on them, they're not done.
Yeah, I went by there too and I saw that, so how come, I thought we were gonna see it.
Well, we said we got it done, but he's extending his job a long ways,
Absolutely.
and I don't like it.
I don't even,
No,
How far
Bring that
done
in,
is
'cause I
he?
have it.
37 hours a week.
How far
Yes.
done is
He was
David?
over on the highway mowing the other day, when the bleachers sitting there.
He was in order to strip him on.
We didn't say much.
Honestly, don't know, I kind of stay away from her. I don't.
So what,
I make a motion, we give him a week to finish, and that's it.
But what about they're not done? Then who's gonna go
David
there?
said they
and
can
finish?
finish. They'll finish them.
Got a week to finish. Do we need, that's, he needs to, Mayor, that's fine.
1,000?
We need to tell him. No, we don't need to do a motion, he just needs to try to get it done.
A week from tomorrow,
I thought he said 2 weeks to finish them in.
about 6 weeks, he should have them done last July.
I don't think we were giving any time.
Well, we made, well, Chris wasn't here last meeting, so we talked about it the meeting before that.
Yeah.
Which would have
It's
been June.
it's been two.
Because I said, can you get him finished before that tournament that they were gonna have? And he had a lot of it done before that tournament,
Okay,
and then all of a
here's the
sudden he
deal.
quit.
Here, he's beating the system is all he's doing.
He's extending his job.
I say, yep,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Wait a minute, you can't let this guy go until you make a motion, don't let him go.
Right.
I mean, he's not,
The
he's not,
board can, make a motion and authorize somebody to give it notice and pull the funding.
They voted on it once before, but the term employment was for, the job was completed,
The job was completed, right.
because his summer work.
we'd like to make a motion either to terminate it or,
I'll make a motion, we terminate it in 1 week.
Terminate it, terminate the
Terminate
funding,
Yes,
terminate
the funding
I'll second
of that position.
that. I'll second that.
we'll have to add that to the agenda, won't we? Oh, Kathy,
I'm sorry.
we'll have to add that to the agenda for it.
Yes.
Got a motion?
I make a motion, we add it to the agenda.
I'll second that too.
You make them buy me supper.
Who's gonna be the one that tells the
It's gonna be
elected
breakfast.
person? Well, I said who's gonna be the one that tells the elected person that?
I'll be free tomorrow.
Here you go.
You'll get mad and quit, with that last time.
No,
Okay, we got a motion and a second.
A week from what?
Today is Monday, so a week from today is next Monday, which
So
will
it should be next Monday.
We got to put it on the agenda first.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
I've got a motion and a second, okay, to put it on the agenda.
Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Ms. Big Lawson? Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Woolhouse?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Now we can vote on it. You make the motion to end the
I'll
thing?
make a motion to end the funding for this position at the rec, what do we call this position? Recreation.
We did recreation. Thank you,
Assistant.
we don't know what it's about.
To be terminated on August the 15th.
I'll second
Any questions? I got a second on? it?
that. I'll second
Yeah.
Any questions, comments? Call the roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Ms. Big Lawson? Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Woolhouse?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Is there anything else to come before the council before we adjourn?
Hey, man, I got one question. While everybody's here, do you guys have any questions for me about any complaints?
About the complaint
About
of
the
man
complaint?
If you do your job, you'll be complaining.
Oh, look, I disappointed, that was the first one in a year and a half. Because
You're doing a great job.
You finally done something about complaining.
It happens to
Keep up the good work.
That's the only one we had.
I got one other thing.